Now that we've seen how we can use the trigonometric functions with right triangles, let's talk a little bit about how we can use them for triangles that are not right. So we'll start with this triangle, which does not have a right angle, and let's go ahead and label the angles for this triangle. So I'm going to call this angle alpha, this angle beta, and this angle gamma. And remember, if alpha is here, then A has to be opposite to alpha, B has to be opposite to beta, and C is going to have to be opposite to the angle gamma. You can label any side A, B, or C as long as if you change the label of a side, you also change the label of the angle that is opposite to it. So if we make these labels here, it is no longer true that, let's say, cosine of alpha is adjacent over hypotenuse because, well, there actually is no hypotenuse. Hypotenuses are defined to be the side that is opposite to the right angle, and there's no side opposite to the right angle because there is no right angle. However, there are some statements that are true involving the trigonometric functions, and we're going to write down 3 of them here. And the 3 statements that are true, these are called the law of law of cosines, not the law of sines. The law of cosines. Later on, we'll talk about the law of sines as well. The first one is the following. So c squared equals a squared plus b squared. So if you just wrote this, this would actually be, or it would actually resemble the Pythagorean theorem, but there's something else that is subtracted along with it, which is minus 2ab cosine gamma. The second one and the third one follow the same pattern. So on the left-hand side, there's some side squared, so b squared. Then on the right-hand side, it starts out as the sum of the other 2 sides squared. So here you have b squared, the other 2 sides are a and c. So this will be a squared plus c squared. Then you subtract 2 times the multiplication of the other 2 sides. Notice here it's the multiplication of the 2 sides that are not c. Here we'll write the 2 sides, or in this next equation we'll write this multiplication of the 2 sides that are not b, so 2ac. And then finally you do cosine. In the previous equation we did cosine of the angle opposite to whatever's on the left-hand side. So we'll do the same thing here. So 2ac cosine the angle opposite to b is beta. And I think I could draw that a little bit better. That's actually not better. That's all right. So all 3 of these law of cosines follow this same pattern. So if you remember the pattern, you don't have to actually memorize all 3. So let's go through and find what the third law of cosines is. So it is a side squared on the left-hand side. Then we add the squares of the other 2 sides. So here we have a, so we'll add b squared plus c squared. And then we'll do minus 2 times the multiplication of the 2 other sides, bc. And then times cosine of the angle that's opposite to what's on the left-hand side. That would be alpha. So these here are called the law of cosines.